Hello, Amon Rose here. Even though I've tackled many different instruments throughout my musical journey, I am first and foremost a guitar player. And every guitar player starts somewhere, and this is where I started. This, as you might recognize, is a Squier Bullet Strat, the classic model that everyone has as their first guitar. And today I'm going to be turning into this, which is practically unplayable, into... This is really a beginner guitar, and I got this as a beginner guitar. This was given to me in 2015 by a cousin of mine. It was picked out by a different younger cousin who picked it because it looked cool, and it does look cool, right? Me being 13 years old, getting this guitar as a Deep Purple fan, a classic rock fan, Jimi Hendrix fan, this was the coolest thing that I could ever have in my hands. And this guitar was with me for all my first bands, for all my first shows. It's seen a lot of insane moments. I really want to restore it into working order. Why do I want to do this? Well, many people told me, you know, you could just sell this, get a different guitar. I did outgrow this guitar. I bought Epiphone SG, which is my main gigging and recording guitar. And recently I bought an Epi Casino, which is a little darling of mine. I love recording with it. I'm gonna hit the stage with it soon. But I still always wanted to really use this single coil power again, because this has a sound that even the split coils on the SG can't really replicate. It's a comfortable guitar. It's the type of sound that I like. And it's probably gonna be way cheaper to restore this and modify this than to buy a Stratocaster model from scratch, because my guitars are getting more expensive and I don't have the money for that. Looking up the serial number for this, I discovered that this was made in July of 2012, which means that as I'm recording this is turning 12 years old, yay. I got this in 2015. And it's been with me through my teenage years, aka the curious years where I would take this thing apart and to see what was inside. And turns out that putting it back together is quite complicated, actually. Pretty sure I reinstalled the bridge wrong because it's been catching on the pickguard ever since. And the age and all the craziness that this guitar has seen has really taken its toll on it. The electronics are very bad quality on this, and they were the first thing to fail. This jack is not original, I had to replace it, and it failed immediately after, so this needs to go, right? The electronics all need to go. And the bridge, I want to replace the bridge because it's rusted, it's really dirty. This thing, I know there's an easy fix for this thing, but it doesn't please me very much. I just want to change it. Why not? Let me change the bridge on my guitar. So I bought a bunch of stuff online, and we are going to fix this back into a Stratocaster that I will want to play live. So let's go! It is about a week later and my supplies are here. Let's take a look at them. Our electronics will be a Roslin pre-wired kit. This is a Stratocaster kit. This is by Roslin, and I bought this because the less that I have to actually do myself, the better. These look pretty simple to install. These had very good reviews. They look like they are quality, and yeah, the less I have to do myself, the better, because there are many opportunities for me to mess this up, and I don't want to mess this up. So these will be our electronics. Our pickups come from another national brand. This is the Malagoli Custom Alnico Blues bridge pickup in cream color. So this is what it looks like. It also had very good reviews. They look super nice. They look like quality. You know, I like the box, the branding, the packaging is very, very fun, very cool. And yeah, I'm trusting a national brand with this. I'm pretty excited to try these on. And I'll tell you why I got 2 and not 3 as is normal for a Stratocaster in a second. So these are my pickups. The next item in our list is a little less trustworthy. These are some cheap plastic pickup covers that I got from a Chinese retailer, and they are out of a box like this because they didn't come with a box. They just came loose in the mail like this. I opened the package and there they were. I'll tell you what I do with these in a second. And finally, the least trustworthy item in this entire thing came in the mail like this, in a styrofoam box like this that doesn't even fit the thing right. You guessed it, this is the bridge of my guitar, and I'm unboxing this as we go. So I don't know what is written on here. Is this a number? Is this a word? What is this? Anyways, I got this because I said I wanted to change the bridge, and I will change the bridge. So this is, in theory, a Wilkinson bridge. As you can see here, it's got in the plastic wrap. Here it goes. This, with the paper covering the stuff here, I guess, the underside of the saddles. This is a Wilkinson bridge. Looks pretty heavy, looks pretty decently made. You know, it's good to see a tremolo bar that isn't beat to shreds like mine is, though I'm not sure that I'm a fan of this plastic material here. It's kind of, you know, I have no idea if I was ripped off. The price was very good though, so I won't be complaining. I'll install this. I'll keep the old bridge in case I want to backtrack on my decision, but this is what we're working with. Electronics, pickups, pickup covers, and a tremolo bridge. So here's the before shot. As you can see, a lot of dirt, a lot of rust, a lot of damage. The bridge looks disgusting. The jack looks disgusting. There's a bunch of parts here that need replacing. And also the headstock looked okay, but I still took it apart to clean it. So the first thing we're going to do, obviously, we're going to take off all of the strings, which is a fairly easy process that I've done a billion times, even though the Strat, well, the Stratocaster and the backplate on it were never my favorite thing to change strings on. It's always annoying to get those little bits of string out, and as you see, I forgot to take off the tremolo bar, which was kind of stupid, and now we're taking off the backplate for the last time because we're not putting it back in because our bridge is very big. Actually, something I should have done better with this modification was check the sizes of everything, because there's a bunch of parts later that won't fit really as they were intended to fit. So here's me taking everything off the guitar. This is a process that took about 20 minutes. And whatever we're gonna put back, we're gonna clean very thoroughly. I'm also removing the strap buttons because I added a strap lock to this guitar. It didn't film me doing that, but trust me, I did it. Now this is the terrifying moment where I take off the bridge. I always have an irrational fear doing this because of the tension of the springs. I always think it's going to blow up in my face and kill me instantly. Luckily, that didn't seem to happen here, but I was still very scared, but it wasn't actually that difficult to take off. Those of you with a keen eye will have noticed that the soldering on this part of the guitar was already undone, which was probably contributing a lot to the hiss and hum that this guitar was having. This guitar was practically unplayable. When I recorded my first album, I could only use it for a single lick because it was making so much noise. Here we are taking off the pickguard, and you will see in a moment just how shoddy the electronics look, especially compared to what we're gonna put in place of them. Those really are the limiting thing in this guitar, because the rest of it is so good, it's so well built, it holds tuning well, and so, you know, time to replace them. You will also see me undoing the headstock, not because it needed to be undone, but just because I'm taking the chance to make sure all the tuners are working properly, they're all clean, nothing is too tight, nothing is too loose, and everything is in perfect working order. I also took these off to clean them. I don't know what they're called. And I wanted to take off these as well, but they didn't want to move, so I decided not to mess with it. Over years of taking this apart and putting it back together without the proper care, I also did a lot of wood damage where the screws are, and so here I am using the old woodworking tip of wood chips and glue, and you stamp them down, and you do this as many times as necessary. To make space for the solder, the first thing we put back on was the bridge, and I'm pretty sure I did this incorrectly. Whoever knows about this more than I do, please let me know in the comments how I could have done this better, because this bridge needed a lot of adjusting later. And to do the actual soldering itself, I'm not very good at that, so I asked my dad, who knows what he's doing better than I do. Thank you, Dad, for the help. We ran into another size problem with this because the controls are too big to fit through the holes, and so we manually enlarged them and they fit perfectly, as if nothing had happened before. We are such geniuses. Pickup fitting time, and I know I said I didn't like messing with the bridge, but I think my least favorite part was this, because this process is so stupid. There must be a way to do this in a more intelligent way that isn't annoying, but I don't know. Would be really cool if one of you told me how. Anyways, here we are doing the soldering. We're not the best at this in the planet, and our solder machine is very old and not working properly, but I guess we did a pretty honest job. Now to run the wiring and replace the jack, which came in new in the Roslyn kit, which I'm very happy about because the first jack that came with this guitar failed on stage. It was not cool, and the second one that I installed didn't quite work properly. So we finished the soldering and we run into another size problem. This pickup selector that you see right there is so big that it actually displaced the pickguard, and so it doesn't fit anymore. So our first solution to this was try to burn it into shape with the soldering iron. That didn't quite work, so we resorted to manual labor. That took a long time, and this video looks ridiculous. Anyone who works with guitars is looking at this and cursing me in their dreams now. And I'm sorry for my crimes, but it worked in the end. It doesn't look good, but it looks rock and roll, and it's not perfect, so whatever. It's my guitar. If I was charging someone to do this to their guitar, that would be a problem, but it's my guitar, I'm okay with it. Fitting the jack back on actually took me a whole 3 minutes just to make sure everything was nice and tight. I don't know why I highlight that, but I just didn't expect it, I guess. After fitting the jack back on, we also refit everything that was on the headstock. Now everything is clean and working well. During this time I also gave the guitar a nice deep clean and polish and hydrated the wood. I didn't film any of this, so again you're just gonna have to believe me. And I also stepped down with wood chips and glue all of the places where the screws go that had been damaged in the whole process, and I hope these will hold up pretty well. With the confidence that every luthier in the world now is laughing at me, it's time to see if we did the wiring right. Well, fuck! It's working right, but it's on backwards. Considering we were just working off charts we found online, I guess we did a good job. We rewired the entire thing, but we didn't film that because we were quite upset and frustrated when it happened, and honestly, just believe me, it's working correctly now. Reinstalled the bridge and restrung the whole thing just to test it out and see how it's sounding. I actually did a bunch of adjustments after this. I checked it out with a friend who is an actual luthier just to work on the string height and the bridge. He fixed the bridge for me because I definitely put it back on wrong. But at this point I was just bubbling with excitement to see how it would sound like. There's still things to adjust with the truss rod, intonation, stuff like this, but you know, these are minor adjustments. And there is something very special that I want to do about this pickup that doesn't exist anymore. But for this, I'll have to call a friend. I called my friend Jay, who is a wonderful artist, and they painted this gorgeous sunset picture on the Cerrado, on the center of Brazil, with actual fauna and flora, and it looks so good on the guitar. I'm so impressed. So it's finally ready. I finally made this into the reliable, comfortable, good sounding guitar that it was always meant to be. It looks great, it feels great, and you know, it's got some quirks to it, but I see them as little personality traits that make this a fun instrument. The lack of a middle pickup actually just turns this into a kill switch, which is cool. And so everyone can hear what this sounds like. Here's my song Catching Fools. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. out a can on the curb. Head down, particular signs of neon alert. Dodging lines and telling times to strangers out loud. The noise of cars and one shot that you hear. Light up a cigarette. Put your hands on your head, you fell. Look at the mess you made. Rock like a boat on waves you fell. Break out of this place, the air's getting stale. The cold and dark are calling you dance. You've been cold, you've been seen, it's all on news. You hide those pretty eyes behind your hands. You didn't even get to see the wreck, did you? You feel that everything you try to do. You can buy yourself out of this mess, can you? Poetic, just as sweet, but always catching fools. Here's what you are. Here's what you are. Guess what you are. Light up a cigarette. Quit like you're still here. Check out its sonic speed. Bite your lips, grit your teeth, you fell. Up a cigarette. We're like a stellar here. Look at the mess you made. La 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 da 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 da. Shade your face.